All I knew was that I wanted to change my life. On my second semester of my bachelors, I just couldn't.
What were you doing?
IT.
IT? Whoa. Same.
And my major was programming as well. Oh my god.
I would have never guessed, dude.
No, I didn't fail, but I barely passed, which was so embarrassing to me because I came here with 80% scholarship.
During the supper club, your dishes has that love feel to it. The biryani was amazing, but my favorite thing...
Chicken?
No!
Achari?
No.
What is it?
My favorite thing was the drink, dude.
Oh,
dude.
I forgot. Oh my god, you raved about that drink.
Guys, I don't know what she did in this drink, right?
Everything just opened up for
just
you for the
blew
first
my
time.
mind.
Losing my mom and losing that loved ones, that's where it hit me that I'm gonna lose everybody while I'm here and I won't be able to spend the last days with them. My mom wasn't even sick. I am floating in my perfect jobs, perfect lifestyle, lots of money. Literally talked to my mom on a Saturday night after my shift. I'm going out with my girlfriends, like so much energy. Sunday afternoon, I get a phone call that she passed away. Do you realize how insane that is to me? What kind of joke is this? I am hungover and I just got to work. I'm literally like a girl wearing chef coat. Plenty of people in the kitchen. There's plenty of people outside and I have to serve food. So I'm crying and still doing stuff. And that was it. I felt like my whole life ended. I lost everything.
Welcome, Miss KumKum.
Thank you.
Well known as YourLilCook on Instagram and everywhere else. Dude, you've been like... We went to your restaurant a year ago. You ran a Bangladeshi restaurant, and then now you're doing a supper club thing, and then you've been posting so much on Instagram, which is how I got here, because I was actually scrolling in bed at 12 a.m. and I actually commented, and you replied with, "You should come to the supper club." And I'm like, what in the world is a supper club? And here I am, thankfully, like, I get to meet you. But before we go into any of your stuff, we did this on the previous episode with another Bangladeshi, Meccan, I think you know her, and we asked this question, do you call it dosa? Or do you call it thosai?
We call it dosa.
Dosa.
But it's not our food. So we just call it what we hear they call it.
Is it more Indian or is it
It is Indian. It's
okay.
South Indian specifically.
Okay.
It's not Bangladeshi at all. But it's dosa.
Okay.
That's what we learned when we go to an Indian place and we order it. That's...
Yeah.
Dosa means plural.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because in Singapore, it's spelled Thosai.
Dosa.
Thosai, yeah. Yeah. Because in Singapore or Malay, dosa means sin. So I think...
maybe that's why they kind of like changed it a little bit.
Right? Yeah.
Which makes sense. A lot of country has a lot of like words that are like you cannot say them in public. But that doesn't mean like... You just have to change it.
Yeah, you just have to change it, exactly. But it was just one of those things that I was like, I said thosai so many times to Uday and other people, and they're like, what are you talking about? And then they were like, it's called dosa.
Paratha, then parathe. Parathe.
See, we had
Parathe is like plural, right?
Yeah. Okay, parathe, and then for us it's just prata. There's no para.
For me, it's porota.
What was Meccan's one? There was something.
It's the same, porota.
Was it porota? And then,
Porota.
dude, there's so
Because she's
many.
Bangladeshi.
That's the thing. Like, I have never grown up with I've never met any Bangladeshi in my life until I met the both of you, and then they're like the differences with how you pronounce it, and I feel like I'm getting not even hate, but like when I go back to Singapore, I meet my Indian friends. They're like, dude, that's not how you pronounce it, and I'm like, but they're like, you guys are the originals. Do you know what I mean? We are like the Singaporean Indian, Singaporean Malay. And even in the Malay culture, like we have prata as well, but we call it roti prata. So roti is like bread prata.
I love roti canai.
Yeah,
It's my favorite.
Isn't it the same thing as prata?
It is, but we don't call it roti, we call it ruti.
Ruti. Okay.
That's the same thing. Ruti, porota. So porota is the one you fry, and ruti is just the normal like tawa fried one without any oil.
Yeah.
But then the one you guys call roti has oil in it. And you like really crispy fry it and then flake it and everything. So there is a little bit of difference, but it's not too much because it all comes from the same place.
Right, like
they were all one.
Yeah, we're all from like that Malay archipelago thing.
Yeah, so tradition kind of passed down, and with local availability and sources, I think things changed a little bit. Like, for example, biryani. Biryani like mainly came from Persians.
Okay.
And then from there, when it traveled the world, especially during Mughal, it came to India. So Indian people kind of used their own ingredients and gave it their own kick, made it more spicy and like added lots of fresh herbs and stuff like that. And then biryani traveled to Pakistan and Bangladesh. When it came to us, the biryani you had in my supper club, the kachi biryani, it's actually, even though it again came from India, Pakistan, Persia, Persians brought it there, but then it actually became super popular after coming to Bangladesh, and it became our cultural thing. Now, we used our local resources and local available rice. We don't use basmati. So that's how like biryani traveled all around like Asia and like just picked up different rice, different grain, different type of masalas depending on the availability and the weather and the season and the stuff that that country is popular for.
Yeah, but who inspired you to like get into cooking? Because I love food, but not as much as you, of course. Like, who inspired you to be like, dude, like, I want to know more about the story, the ingredients. How did you get into it, dude?
Really, like, you wouldn't believe it, but not really. Like, I don't really have any inspiration. It's just, I think, very natural. That's why I believe that I was born to do so. Like, that's what I believe, and I was never confused about it because everything came into me so naturally. Like, I do come from a family, everybody loves food, but not like me, not on an intense level that, you know, like they only talk about food or only think about food, things like that. No, but we really cherish and appreciate cultures and cultural food, especially home-cooked food that are going to nourish your body, not just like the heavy biryanis or like curries or like, you know, slow cooked beef or meat. Obviously Bangladesh is like but everything, it's about everything, like not just fish. Like they generalize us with fish, but no, we have so much more. We eat everything, you know.
Yeah, come to a supper club, guys. There's so much, literally so much.
But then like there is so much more than that because we have river, so we grow a lot of like shak and shobji, which basically means like greens and vegetables, because like those river areas, the soil is really, really good. And you can grow pretty much anything you want to and eat them like freshly from the garden and from the soil. So my parents kind of emphasize on those kind of stuff. So me growing up, we never hated vegetables or greens. We kind of had it as like, so these things are actually good for your body. This is what it does. This is what it has. And they always picked up different body parts, like this is good for your eyes, this is good for your brains. So as a kid, it fascinated us to eat those kind of stuff more, right? So I wouldn't say there was like one single inspiration or two person or like, you know, like anybody told me that, oh, you should like pursue a career in cooking. No one ever told me that.
Then how did you end up getting to Melbourne? Like, I feel like Bangladesh actually would be already a good place to learn so much with the spice and everything, but why?
not in a professional level. Oh. No one really appreciate a cook.
It's weird how that works, right?
You're meant to be in a kitchen, married to somebody and just cook for them. And
it's weird that I found out like in Asian culture we do so much with food, but the appreciation and how it's just normal.
Hospitality in general, not just a chef, not just a cook, everything in together. Hospitality is such a big part of our life, but yet we see them so little. The fact that they just how do I say it? So obviously there's struggle with family when you deciding that you want to do something in this particular field.
How old were you when you told them?
I'm 21. No, actually, way earlier. I realized I wanted to do it at the age of 19 because I came here at the age of 17, right? To do my bachelors. So I finished my foundation and then I finished my diploma. And then on my second semester of my bachelors, I just couldn't. I wasn't enjoying it anymore. Like my bachelors, whatever the fuck that was. Sorry.
What were you? No, it's fine. What were you doing? in
IT.
bachelor's? IT? Wow. Same. Just fall on it. I did IT as well, bro.
But I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it?
And my major was programming as well. Oh my god.
I would have never guessed, dude. I would have never guessed. Did you fail?
No, I didn't fail, but I barely passed, which was so embarrassing to me because I came here with 80% scholarship. And I was barely getting like 55, 60. So I knew I was not made for that, for sure.
Programming, yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of C-sharps, all these kind of things.
Yeah, so it's basically right. I was always very self-aware. Always. I don't know. I'm so grateful though. I don't know how, but I was. Like, I always had very intense emotion. I was a troubled child as a teenager. And so, you know, when you have a lot of emotion, you need to understand how to control those emotions as well. So kind of got into that practice very young, especially with emotions, being a rebel kid, stubborn, always like thinking different, thinking ahead of time, and especially coming from lower middle class family, and a family who's so conservative, not with education or learning, but with just what do you want to do? You have to go to a safe path. You have to finish your degree, get a safe job, good job, you know, until you get married, and then just, you know, whatever happens afterwards. But my plan was, I don't even want to stay here. I'm going. Where? Just wherever. I want to travel. I want to work. Yes, I want to work, but I want to work something that I love to work, that it doesn't feel like working. I want to travel. That was my main goal. Like, I really wanted to travel. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to do things for myself. I want to live a life that I'm living right now, like living my slow life at home, having a home, having pets, being at home, working from home, going out whenever I want to, working out, waking up whenever I want, but working whenever I want as well. Just having that freedom is what I wanted forever. So I just told my parents that, okay, I want to study outside of Bangladesh. And they tell me, if you can get yourself into university, you're free to go, but we're not going to do anything extra. I did get a scholarship, so my dad really didn't have to pay a lot. I came here, but then 1 year into it, it wasn't doing much for me because the life here is too hard. Working, trying to save money for rent, food, everything else. Because I knew that once I come here, I'm not going to take any money from my parents, which is what I did.
What were you working as, like, at the time?
So I worked at a cafe and I was working at McDonald's, which pays so good.
Yeah.
So good. Shout out to McDonald's. Thank you, the road.
We have to check it out.
Yeah, it's actually good. I worked there for almost 3 years.
How was that?
Good.
What was the experience of like working in
That
McDonald's
was my
over here?
first experience in a kitchen. And that's when I decided, like 1 year into it, I decided, okay, I really enjoy it. Like everybody says so stressful, so blah, blah, blah. But like, I was like, I actually enjoy the rush. And then I was working at a cafe in Balaclava. So I realized like I do like working in hospitality in general. Even then I didn't know that I wanted to be a chef. And then I get my first like proper commercial kitchen break as a salad person, salad bar.
What's a salad person?
It's like salad person. I forgot the actual name for it, but you basically have a salad counter in that restaurant and you look after the salad section, like fill it up, cut stuff that you need to, and just make a salad that they have on the menu and just send it. You just do it. And then from the salad bar to 3 months later to line cook, and that's when I was like, okay, maybe I should. So I dropped out and then went to culinary school. Whatever I could afford at that time. So I did that. I really wanted to go to a fancy cooking school, but I couldn't afford it at that time. So I did. I went to normal school over here. Still good. Still, you get the certificates. You have to finish all the lessons and everything. You have to do the practical classes and everything. But like, I feel like I wish I had a little more competition and I had a little more like better training. But then I realized soon later, none of those things matter. Once you go into a real commercial kitchen, like a real restaurant kitchen, and they train you, they shape you. So choose where you want to work. That's what's gonna matter the most at the end of the day. So that's what I did. I think I changed in between like 2 to 3 jobs at 3 different restaurants, 3 different cuisine.
Wait, you were from McDonald's first, right?
So my first ever job in Melbourne is McDonald's. And then while I was working at the McDonald's, obviously one job is not going to do anything to you. So you do cash in hand, like cash jobs. Should I have said that? But it's fine. Everybody does it. It's real talk, So obviously you cannot survive on 20 hours, 18 hours of work. So my other job was a cafe job, like super early in the morning. They paid nothing, honestly. But still, you have to do it because, your situation. So that 2 job was like from 2018 to 2020. And then at the start of 2020, I already had a job at an Italian restaurant. And then the salad place I'm talking, it's not a salad place. My work was just to make salad. And then from salad to line cook. So they would let me do a little bit extra, like just learning bits and pieces. I was loved everywhere. I'm not gonna lie. I never had that, that rough kitchen environment. I think either it's my personality or just my hunger for learning. Everybody kind of, like all the chefs that worked with me or people who were like my bosses, they sensed that in me, that I'm not here just to make money. I was never there to make just money. I was there to learn everything that I could in the shortest possible time. So they knew that, and you don't have to say it, your attitude, your personality, you're showing up on time or else before, and you like actually volunteering to do everything that you want to do. That shows that your dedication towards work and responsibility and everything. So I was always loved by everybody at all the places that I've worked in my life. And they would really actually, even if it's busy, even if it's not busy, like they would call me, hey Kum, like my name is actually KumKum, but like I was always called Kum because it's easier to pronounce. So I forgot that people used to call me that. So, hey Kum, do you want to learn how to do this? This is how it would go. Like not only just I did what I was supposed to do, but I would always learn extra every single day by these amazing chefs and people that I met. And then that's how it went till 2022. I decided, okay, let me just pause and not work all these places, because by then I was stable, very stable, and I was almost done with school as well. So I decided that, okay, let me just hold on to one job and I'm gonna do that full time. And I did that. So I joined at this West African restaurant in 2021. They opened up, and that's when I joined as a sous chef to the head chef. And then 4 months later, she was fired. And then I got promoted. And understand this, that she taught me everything in those 4 months. And I knew how to run that place by myself without any help. And I had 6 other people working under me, a 22-year-old. So that was crazy. But the fact that I was capable to learn all of those things, something that is not even my country, not even my food, learning everything in 4 months was crazy to everybody. So I was promoted to an executive chef and offered a full-time contract. And that was it. I left all of my jobs and I started working there full-time. And also I still had 3 days off. So on those 3 days, 2 days, I would work as a private chef to some of the CEOs in Melbourne. They have different companies. One of them has delivery car companies, moving moving trucks and stuff. And I still remember like the best thing about that job was I wouldn't have to meet anybody. I go to their place, empty, $1 million house. I cook, put everything in the fridge, play with the dog, and leave. That's it, once a week. Good pay.
How much were you getting?
Cash, $1,500 a week, just for one day.
Okay.
So that's how I saved money for my restaurant. That's exactly how I did, because I was too young to whatever was I gonna do with all that money anyway. Like, I did shopping a lot. My lifestyle at that time was crazy. All I did was like shopping, eating, working really hard at that restaurant, and then working for him. I did that for 6 months, and then I realized, okay, I'm getting over it. Like, I've saved enough money, saved enough for like 2 house deposit over here. But like, I didn't want to buy a house, neither. I wanted to invest it somewhere. I wanted to do something. And that's when in 2022, my mom passed away, and I went back home. And I stayed there for 6 months, and just not for that, oh, I knew that I was going to open a restaurant. I learned everything. Not really, but I learned a lot of stuff back home in those 6 months, because like I realized my mom passed away, and the only person in my family who knows how to cook is me. Now, if I don't learn the things, there won't be anybody to pass on, if that makes sense. Like, no one would know the things that I grew up eating, the things that my mom grew up eating. Like, I didn't really get much time with my family to learn those things. So this time I stayed over there for over 6 months, and just went to my grandma's place, went to my auntie's place, everywhere, and learned everything that I could. And also it just would make me cry all the time, thinking that, wow, like my mom is no more. And all of the people that are there, that are aunties or like people from my family, the women of my family, they're all very old, and I don't know like how long are they gonna be there with me. So every time I would think of it, I would be like, just over there, especially because I lost my mom so recently, I would be just bursting out of tears, thinking that, oh, you're not gonna be with me in like 6 years, 7 years, so I have to learn everything that I can, and just the fact so that I have a part of you with me. This is how I see it, like learning things from people, and that's how you keep them alive even when they die. That's when I decided that, okay, when I come back from Bangladesh, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. I would rather want to do something for myself, something to respect my mom, something to show a tribute to her, that she did inspire me to just run after anything that I want to. Doesn't have to be cooking, just follow my dreams. She inspired me to, this is what she always told me, study, but study for things that you want to do something with your life, if that makes sense. Don't just study because you have to study because you want to learn. That's a very simple thing that she said. Not that I really appreciated it at that time, but I do appreciate it a lot now, because it makes a lot more sense. So then I just went with the whole restaurant thing after coming here. Sorry.
Coming back in. Dude, as much as whatever that you said definitely showed during the Supperclub, because your energy when we first came here, right? Like the whole vibe of this place, the Supperclub was held here, by the way. The whole energy when we first came in, it was a 38-degree day, right? And I remember coming in and it was cold, and you had like the jazz music playing. The candles wasn't there yet, but like the whole mood was there. And how like, now that you've mentioned your mom passing away and how you were more inspired to be more you and like to bring her legacy, it makes so much more sense now, because like when I came here, like it felt like home. Oddly, it just really feels like home. And then, as you said, dude, your dishes has that love feel to it. I know you made like, I forgot the names of the dishes, I'm sorry, but like the biryani was amazing. But my favorite thing,
Chicken?
No.
Achari?
No.
What is it?
My favorite thing was the drink, dude.
Oh,
dude.
I forgot. Oh my god, you raved about that drink.
Guys, I don't know what she did in this drink, right? But like, you put this lychee, right? Lychee drink mixed with something, and then there was tahini. I've never tried tahini before in my life, and you put it
So
like just
everything just opened up for
it
you
just
for the
blew
first
my
time.
mind. Within the first
Okay, so
second.
it's basically a spiced lychee daiquiri.
Yeah.
Obviously, no alcohol.
Yes, mom.
Halal here.
Halal, okay, mom.
Halal here. Okay, so because of the spice that I used, it complements the lychee so much without giving it that heat. The sweetness and the smell of the spice mixed with tahini and the lime and like salt, everything just like mingles so perfectly. I'm really good with my flavors. I just realized it.
That drink, I don't know, because I feel like I grew up with a lot of Indian/Bangladeshi food as well, so that was familiar. But something about that drink, dude, like we'll put a photo right up here, right, just to show you guys like that.
I have a better picture. Post my
Yeah.
picture.
You send me the photo afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was something like magical about that to me, and I think it shows in your culinary skills, as you said, right? You, what was it? Your head chef, right?
Yeah.
Like you took over her within 4 months.
Honestly, I would say when it comes to my culinary skills, okay, so there's different skill when it comes to just being a chef, right? Like
Yep.
being a good chef and then just being a chef. Like chefs definitely know how to cook. There's basic cooking skills. Everybody knows that. But a good chef knows good time management, how to work with like people, how to run a place, how to delegate tasks, and how to be a boss. But with me, on top of those things, I have like not information, but I have that care and the passion to keep creating and keep going that extra mile to see, like taking that risk. Just being a chef and working in the industry and actually loving what you do. I'm pretty sure most good chefs that I've met, like not pretty sure, I'm sure, like most of the chefs I've met in my life, they truly love what they do. They truly loved their journey and they had an amazing career, like 20 years, 25 years. Crazy, insane. But then I think what I also bring to the table on top of those things, like the whole management skill plus the cooking, is that my love for different traditions and cultures and just my love for food in general. Like I love eating any food. I've met many chefs, they only like, end of the day, they would only stick to one kind of cuisine. That's what they prefer to eat, even though they cook different food, lots of kind of food, but they think that's because they work. But everything I learned, everything I cooked for people, I actually love to eat it myself. I eat everything. Everything that tastes good, that looks good to my eyes.
Yeah. As you can see, like on her Instagram, you focus a lot on like Bangladeshi food, and we are going to go even deeper with the Bangladeshi stuff. But I actually saw on your Instagram, right, on 19 June 2021, you posted your avocado toast.
Yeah.
And that was like, I was like, wait, Bangladeshi, and then there's an avocado toast. What makes your avocado toast special? And what makes an avocado toast good? Because you actually put, one of the ingredients was you add chili oil. A little controversial for Australians, but what makes your avocado
my
toast?
avocado toast, this is how I like it. First of all, the avocado has to be perfectly ripe. Not underripe. Overripe is fine because you're going to mush it anyway. But the most perfect avocado that tastes really good and goes with any flavor is that perfectly mushy avocado that is so creamy, right? That's the texture we go for. Avocado has no other taste. It tastes like nothing.
That's what Australians
But
love.
it's
When it
like
tastes
cream,
like
right?
nothing, oh, they don't love flavor.
But then that gives you the opportunity to play with it, the flavors. So what I do, I add a lot of fresh herbs and crunch for more texture. Because I like to play with different textures. So crunch, texture, and just lots of fresh herbs. Crunch comes from like fresh chilies and onions. Fresh herbs like coriander, spring onion, and then lime juice, salt and pepper. I sometimes add gherkin or pickles as well. So good, try it. And so that's just the avocado part. That's good enough as it is. Mm-hmm. Are you hungry?
Yeah. I feel like just you talking about your avocado toast has more flavor than every avocado toast I've tried. Like in every cafe.
Like, this is, like I like to eat. That's where it comes from. Yeah. I'm not gonna compromise with my own flavor. So that's where it all comes from. That I experiment with things that is going on in my head, things that I come up with in the middle of my sleep. The ideas I get, I wake up and I experiment with it and I see if it actually tastes good as it tasted in my brain. You feel me? So I do that with the avocado and then just like a crunchy bread. It doesn't have to be sourdough. I honestly prefer something a little bit softer side. I think sourdough is a bit too hard and chewy for my taste. No offense to sourdough. It's really good for your health, but you can make sourdough bread softer as well. It doesn't have to be that hard.
It's like low-key diss to some sourdough breads out there. All the sourdough lovers out there.
No, I love sourdough too, but my sourdough, that bread I would bake at home, it's soft.
Yeah.
Not milk bread, but still softer. Not a baguette.
Yeah, you have to make some for me. You have to make some for me.
And then the egg. Now, egg, I like mine like crispy fried at the bottom and then soft yolk or medium soft yolk. Salt and pepper again. Nothing too crazy. I don't want to go overboard with cheese, but sometimes, again, I add the cheese in the avocado mash. Not melted, just in the avocado mash. I like that as well. But we're not going there. So there's avocado, there's toasted bread, and then we got the egg. Now, either you can go with your homemade chili oil, which is basically just like you saute some garlic, add lots of Thai chili peppers because they are so good. Like heat, freshness, perfect. And then just add a little bit of like any crunchy peanuts and stuff like that. So good. You make your own chili oil, literally that. Put it on top of the toast, put it on top of the egg, and you have it.
I feel like if you run just a cafe with like coffee and just avocado toast, like it's already more special than
I have never tasted. Like I don't order avocado toast. This is the reason, because it's so boring. Yeah, exactly. Like why am I paying $18 for this?
Every Asian.
You have to come here for brunch sometimes.
Yeah.
Cause like, so good. I have waffle maker. I make like fried chicken waffle as well. So good. Like.
Oh damn. I feel like you're so specialized in your Bangladeshi dishes, but there's so much love in other dishes and you're very curious. I think it shows within your dishes and hearing your personality right now. I think the thing that I'm curious about, because you came here at a very, very young age, dude. And for you to still have this passion, this love, and as someone who has went through about 3 years of being international and there's a lot of loneliness and all these kind of things, how do you maintain that drive,
I feel
that
like
passion?
you ask that question to everybody.
Yeah, because as fun as it is, right? My first year over here, dude, it's like I couldn't care less. Like my mom, I don't need you. But
really,
bro, that first year for me,
mine was different though.
That's the thing.
I cried a lot. I was really, really homesick actually.
Yeah. A lot of people start like that, but I was the opposite. Like after a year of being here, and then I went back home and I saw my mom, and then I flew back home. I flew back here to Melbourne. Then I was like, oh, okay, like this sucks, and like that feeling that I can't express or tell you guys how that feels, but it really, really sucks. And to maintain that level of like love is not easy to. And you came here alone as a girl as well, like from Bangladesh. Like, what kept you sane? It's not easy.
Sane.
That's not easy.
I didn't have time to think any of those things. Keeping myself sane or just surviving here was good enough. Like to consume all of my time. Just surviving. You literally, all I knew was that I wanted to change my life. I wanted to change everything about my life, and I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to be traveling, and I wanted financial freedom. It was a lot about money that time. A lot about money. Like I was a money chaser.
I mean, you have to. You have to.
Not anymore, though. I don't see money as a primary. What do you call it? Like object, primary reason to live anymore.
Yeah, but to a certain extent, like money has to be in your head to like live. Do you know what I mean? And
not
then
at all. Not right now. No. Because this is what my restaurant taught me.
Yeah.
I have handled so much money last 2 years, but it didn't bring me any peace.
Yeah, let's talk about your restaurant. Like how did you like open it? What
So I kind of told you like the inspiration and everything, just like losing my mom and losing that loved one. So this is where I was going with the whole like, I didn't know anything about just like, I didn't feel anything that you're talking about, like the homesickness and all of that. Like
even after your mom passed away?
That's where it hit me that I'm going to lose everybody while I'm here and I won't be able to spend the last days with them. Because like, my mom wasn't even sick. No one knew that she was going to die, right? I am floating in my perfect jobs, perfect lifestyle, lots of money, really, really happy. Literally talked to my mom on a Saturday night after my shift. I'm going out with my girlfriends, like so much energy. Imagine, after 13-hour shift. My mom's seeing my clothes and everything, like I'm deciding what to wear, doing my hair. We're talking full on. Sunday afternoon, I get a phone call that she passed away. Do you realize how insane that is to me? I was just like, what? Like, what kind of joke is this? I am hungover and I just got to work. And I get a phone call from my sister who's crying. I thought she's joking because she was doing her assignments 20 minutes ago. I thought she needed help. And the way she's crying, 2 seconds later, she said, Ammu. And I felt like, okay, she's not joking anymore. This is serious. And she said, Ammu. And I just like, my hand started shaking. And I gave the phone to my boss that, can you ask her what is she saying? I'm not understanding anything. And my boss just, after talking to my boss just looked at me and they still didn't tell me that she had passed away. He said that my mom's sick because he wanted my sister to tell me that first because he didn't want me to collapse or like lose it at work because I was already shaking. I'm literally like a girl wearing chef coat. There's plenty of people in the kitchen. There's plenty of people outside and I have to serve food. So I'm crying and still doing stuff. I cannot believe I did that. Just in that fear that what happened to my mother? Why is nobody telling me anything? And my phone, my boss kept it because I'm already getting phone calls from Bangladesh everywhere. My sister gets there 1 hour later. And she tells me that my mom had passed away and we both just sit down and start crying, break down. And that was it. I felt like my whole life ended. I lost everything. Like, I actually had lost everything. No work, nothing. Like, I was just like, I would wake up crying, thinking of her and like try to find the voicemail she would send me every year for my birthday. Just because, like, somebody is sick and you're gonna like look after them, you go there. But losing your mother like that, like not being able to tell her that you love her, not being able to see her on her deathbed, things like that, just like crazy to me. It's insane. And I could not accept it. I could not believe it. I would cry out loud thinking, even for a whole year, if there's a good day or there's a bad day, I would think of it like, oh, let me call my mom. Then I realized she passed away, which is so insane that hard to believe. This is how I took it. But my sister that lives here, completely opposite. She didn't cry a single tear. She literally just piled herself with a lot of work. I have seen her, like she broke down. That's where she cried for the first time after our mom passed away, was when she saw my mom's grave. I think every people like has different way to mourn and different way to deal with death, I guess. So this is where it comes like to me that wow, like how different people function differently. Like that really showed me that I really just went insane losing my mother. My sister was too calm and quiet, even though she was more closer to her, and she only accepted it when she saw my mom's grave when we went back home. So this is the story. Losing her without any warning was the biggest warning of my life, that I'm gonna lose everybody one day, and none of these things will matter.
Yeah.
So
Death doesn't wait for anyone, does it? And yeah, it's a very
she didn't get to see anything.
like none
Just
of your
raised us.
yeah.
Really worked really hard. Raised us. My youngest sibling's only 15. So when my mom passed away, he was only like 13 because she passed away 2 years ago, almost 2 years now.
Yeah, there must have been like a huge side of you still until today. Like you wanted to show at least like here's my restaurant.
Yeah, restaurant and my love for her.
Yeah.
I couldn't because I was always the busy one. I was always the tough one, or at least pretending to be the tough one, because I'm young, like eldest, you know. I have to take responsibilities and I have to keep going. I have to win in life. I have to impress them, and you know, I have to make them proud. So never had time. So many times she would call me, I didn't pick up because I was busy. The amount of regrets, that I think that was the one that was like the hardest for me.
Yeah. Can I share with you a lesson that I've learned from therapy, like from all these things would be there's a side of us, especially as the oldest or whatever it is as kids, like we want to pretend to be strong, right? To our parents especially if you're overseas. Obviously you want to stay at least pretending to be strong so they don't worry, right? But what I've realized was the best gift, one of the best gift that you can give to them or someone that loves you is when you're sad, to actually express that sadness with them. And recently I did that with my parents. My mom worried, but she was happy for the fact that like she could be there, rather than she knows, they know when you're pretending, dude. They know when you're pretending, and there was a lot of moments.
Not even pretending, because I come from a very different family, I would say.
Asian.
They made me like that.
Yeah, same.
Do you understand? Like, they made me like that. Get lots of gaslighting, lots of manipulation.
I think it's typical as Asian toxic families go.
And then if you have like 4 girls, then that's on a different level.
It's a different level. 4 boys for me.
Oh wow!
Let's go. Halal gap over there.
So like very different. My parents were very different towards like all of us siblings. The way they were with me, they weren't the same with my other sibling, and then same goes with the other ones too. Do I make sense?
Yeah.
They were very different with the different.
Yeah,
kids.
of course. Yeah.
Different kid. I think that's what they say now, like my dad, that they never cared for me as much because they knew that I could fend for myself. I was smart, I was strong, and I could survive anywhere, which I think is bullshit.
Which, I mean,
I think it's again manipulation.
I think how you feel inside might be the opposite, but to be honest, the way you're showing it.
I think as a teenager, the reason I was a trouble child and so stubborn is because I wanted that attention to be on me. I wanted more love.
Yeah, see, this is what I mean, because like you'll end up doing the opposite to get the attention. But I've realized like now we're the adults, right? We are, I guess, the ones in the Western.
No, I still do the same.
we're the ones in these Western society. So I've learned like my parents didn't grow up learning these things, learning therapy. Like therapy in their head is like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So I've learned like I have to be the one who breaks these walls.
Generational.
And, you have to
cycle.
break that generational cycle. And I'm so happy I did, because you might go the opposite way, but you never know until you try. You really never know until you try.
Yeah, like end of the day, I still have so much love and kindness for them, and the compassion. Like, obviously they couldn't learn and they didn't have that opportunity. Life was so hard, especially like when you have a big family to feed, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have that time to think that deep, because once you do, you go into a loop and you can't come out of it. And here you have to be realistic and actually fend for these kids, for their education, for food, for home, everything. So honestly, I understand we don't have that pressure right now, but imagine if I were to fend I had 13 people in my family. Imagine that. So where would I have that time to reflect that long that, I must have hurt somebody today by saying that. I don't think I would. I don't think I would have that much time in my hand.
Yeah, it definitely shows.
Life is way easier when you
When you're
have a
doing it.
partner, two-person working. My dad only worked. My mom was a homemaker. So there's a lot. There's a lot, and then they become child with time, and then you become the adult, and you have to understand them. You have to work with them, which I'm okay with. But then I realized that that's no more than working with the actual child.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah.
But no, my relationship with my siblings is fantastic, like always has been. My relationship with my dad, respectful. That's it.
Respectfully?
Very respectful.
Yeah.
That's it. Like just because we have very different way of seeing the world, very different way of doing things for loved ones, very different way of showing love. So we don't really like get into too much deep, because then I get angry, he gets angry, then we yell at each other, things like that. Very typical. With mom, it was different. We were like best friends, especially me and my immediate younger sister. Because my mom passed away really young, actually. She passed away at the age of 45.
No, 45, that's young.
So like she was very good with us. She was very kind, great host.
I can see that in you. You're like,
Great
I think,
host.
embodiment of her.
Always loved to feed people, always cried for people, always felt for people, really emotional. Never really like, like gossiping or speaking ill for somebody, even for fun, not to harm anybody. She never even did it for fun. I've never heard her, or she doesn't even entertain other people coming to her just to gossip or to be friends with her. Always prayed, always like had a very strong relationship with Allah. Very like, I want to be like that one day. That faith is super strong. Like having that strong faith that nothing can shake it is crazy. Cause like, even though I say I want to have better relationship with Allah, it's hard to be consistent. It's hard to be only relying on Him no matter what. That's how she was. No matter how many times she was let down, she still trusted Him and had faith in Him. That's something crazy.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I also went through that phase of not believing in God and all that kind of thing. Only when I came here and I'm alone, that's where like I realized the consistency of God. It's like it is like having a partner beside you. Like God is your partner right there.
But you have to believe it.
Yeah, you really have to believe
Praying is good. Definitely good for your health, mind, everything. But just knowing in your mind that He's there and protecting you and believing that does everything. Believing, having that
1000%.
faith.
Yeah. I started to do like
Strong-minded.
yeah.
That prepares you.
It does, because when I came here, even before this podcast, right, I'm always reminding myself like, do it in the name of Allah first. There's something. Not only does it bring you like peace and everything, but there's something humbling about it. So, for example, if you're gonna have a very stressful day, or you're gonna meet like I don't know, one day I have a feeling you're gonna meet Gordon Ramsay one day, right? The day that happens, there's something humbling. Like we put them on a pedestal, like Gordon Ramsay, like he is who he is. But it's something like if you pray to all of us, God, like this is with you, then you realize like, oh, he's just another human being.
Also, just being grateful for the opportunities,
Exactly.
showing gratitude. So yeah, going back to that, my mom was all about that actually. Like his first love, his Allah, then my dad. Then we were far. Which is what I love about this lady as well, that she never, like in brown families, usually once you give birth, once you have kids, the kind of attention diverts from the husband to kids always, but it wasn't the case in my family. My dad was my mom's first priority forever, for 28 years. We were never the first priority. We were probably the maid's first priority, but not my mom's.
Okay.
And now that I'm all grown up, I want to be like that. Because that's your best friend for life. That's your partner. That's your provider. That's your protector. If your attention diverts and goes all into your kids, that person is alone. And nobody's there by his side. And nobody's there to talk to him. Nobody's there to look after him. And then you cry about not having spark 10 years later. You know what I mean? My parents had spark until the day my mom passed away. The romance they have, when my mom said to our house help that, can you call him? Like, I'm not feeling okay. My dad left everything. 5 minutes, he's upstairs. Like the romance, the love, the respect they have for each other. In Bengali culture, I have never seen any men crying for their wife in the janaza, where they're putting her. My dad asked 400 people there to pray for her, that he has never met anybody like her. And he never will. He's sure. He said that, like, that's where I realized what love is. And that's what I wanted for myself. The day when I saw my dad so broken for my mom. So that's how they were their whole life. My mom was never allowed to spend a single night without my dad anywhere. So was my dad. They had their rules. And they never had a fight and then not sleeping together or being mad at each other, not talking to each other, things like that. And they had one rule that my mom taught me, that when he's mad, you don't say anything. Be quiet, listen to him, respect him. But when you're mad, make sure he does the same thing. It goes like that. You cannot be both fire and expect a problem to be solved. You have to be the water for the fire when someone is super angry. And same goes let it calm down, let it cool down, and then go and make your point to him when he's willing to understand or able to understand. Things like this. This is even though they didn't know anything about marriage or counseling and things like that, but they worked it out. They did it and they put in the work. They made each other their priority. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
I feel like whatever that your mom has taught you, and you're applying so many of these things, which is consistency. And no matter, it's something that I say to everyone, right? Especially for me right now, just something that I have quote unquote authority in is going to the gym, which a lot of people don't believe in. Is all I say is just go every day. As much as
get out of the house.
Yeah, just get out of the house, do it every day. And trust me, that compounds each day, 365 days to 4 years, and you'll see the results. But everyone wants instant gratification, right? And
it's not just about physical results.
It goes to everything. Because I'm going back to your cooking and how your mom has prayed every day. It's not that they have one day where I'm really gonna pray my ass off today. It doesn't work that way. It's there's this consistency of praying. That's why it's beautiful, right? In Islam,
making it her lifestyle.
Correct.
Something that would keep her sane.
Yeah, there's a beautiful thing about praying 5 times a day because it keeps you sane and consistent.
Disciplined.
Yeah, disciplined. We as humans, we are very habitual creatures, and doing something consistently is actually what's going to get you to that.
When people say they don't have time, you have time for everything. Yeah. There's 24 hours. Everything. Discipline is the main issue.
Yeah.
When you're not disciplined, you don't have time for anything.
Yep.
You can fit in everything and be disciplined and continue to do that every single day with 20 tasks. You can do it.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it.
I think probably your Instagram viewers will just look at you as someone who just does Instagram videos. But literally today you were like, oh, I was editing my videos at 3 a.m. I'm like, the dedication is just different. And I can definitely see why. The results, I think it's because social media is easy to consume. But when you look at the amount of work that you have to do behind, it's it really shows, man. Your standards of food, love, your social media, your restaurant, to now the Supperclub, it really shows. So
I only want to do better though.
Yeah.
Just stepping up,
Exactly. So what's next other than Supperclub? How long is the Supperclub going for until now?
As long as I'm here, that's it. Not too long, I hope.
Not too long.
Because I want to be with my partner, you know what I mean? Being the long distance and handling everything over here. I love being alone. I love living alone. It's fun. But LA is different, you know what I mean? My life will kind of start all over again over there.
Yep.
And I have to find my ways. I have to find new friends. I have to find networking. I have to find what I want to do over there. But it's also going to get easier because my mother-in-law is there, my partner is there, and they're invested in my career. Like, actually, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I have people who actually truly cares about my passion, and they see me for those things. Like, they see I have so much potential. So they're actually invested, right? So it's also going to get really easier for me. Like, for example, when I cook here, I would really like to create 20 contents in a day. It's possible for me physically, but it's not possible for me to eat that food physically.
Yeah. You have to give out the food every single time you cook.
And
right?
I do, but then it makes you tight on money as well. Because not only just a lot of waste, but like gas bills, electricity bills, bro.
See, the kind of things I don't think about when you're doing
like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And also, like, how many times you're going to feed people?
Yeah.
Like, I give in a lot of stuff extra on Supperclub.
Yeah, the thing that I was worried about Supperclub was like after that, like, oh, she's gonna wash everything.
I did.
Yeah. But on your own hands, like,
yeah, I do.
Not the dishwasher.
No, because our food is different. Dishwasher is never gonna clean that shit.
That's actually
It's not like baked food.
my mom tried to, like, she used the dishwasher for like a few.
And it doesn't give you that solace in your heart. Even after the dishwasher does its job, I still wanna do it because you know that thing is not clean enough.
Yeah.
Especially the homemade ghee.
It's not.
Anyways, it's a lot of work that goes into it. But also, like, next for me is to just, I do things, but how well can I do these things in better timing, better time management, and most importantly, just while being happy and living my life more. You know what I mean? Like, having that freedom while doing all of these things that I'm doing. I don't want to add anything extra, no. These 20 tasks that I'm doing, I want to get better at doing these 20 tasks next 365 days. This is my this year's goal. If I do that, other opportunities will follow up with those things. It's the same thing. Instagram, I'm already doing it. But what can I do? I can do it better. I can do it better as in better with my content, better with my storytelling, coming out of some comfort shells that I want to work on. And then same goes with being consistent on TikTok, kind of do YouTube. That's one extra task because I don't do YouTube at this moment, but I want to. Same goes with, I want to write a book this year and I really am determined. But then honestly, writing a book is not hard. I know everything that I want to put in, but I want this book to be a legacy to a lot of people. And then I'm moving country, just settling down. It's going to be really easy over there. Making more contents is because there's 3 people and I'm going to feed them constantly. I won't have to worry about over consuming, and I can focus on my gym, still feel better, look better, work with good brands. This is it. Like, very simple, nothing crazy that, I want to
take over the world.
Yeah, or I want to buy a house or buy a car. None of that. More self-development and just like the career, preparing my places, the fields that I'm interested in, preparing them to be big, to go better, to go bigger. Because those things are gonna make me enough to buy my first house, maybe 3 years, 4 years. That's okay, but compounding, like you said, everything is gonna compound. I really wanna focus on my health this year because that is going to speak volume for my videos and content. It's all in your mind.
Yeah, everything compounds. When you start doing good, the good will compound. If you start doing bad, like even the smallest bad, like it will compound.
It's all, again, compounding, yeah. So this is what I want to do. Like, nothing too crazy. I feel like I can handle it. And then obviously you never know what life is going to throw at you. So you have to keep some space for those things as well.
Exactly. Yeah, dude, I'll be excited if you actually get to release like a whole book with your stories and like there's something different about reading it.
So what I want is basically, oh, look at her taking a nap, and the other one is over there. They sleep in the weirdest position. Anyways, so the book is going to be, I have category. This is going to be part 1, but the main part of the cookbook, right? I haven't come up with the name yet, so you guys let me know if there's a nice name for my cookbook.
It should be something to do with the KKK, as you said.
No, maybe
KumKumKookBook.
maybe I want to have a name, then say by YourLilCook.
Yeah.
Instead of just being narcissistic and then name the book.
But it would be
after me.
hilarious if you actually do it with the KKK, just to like get clickbaits. Like KumKumKookBook, but the cookbook is K.
Okay.
That would actually be
I
crazy.
want to do have a proper name that says it's all about Bangladeshi food.
Yeah.
But then say by YourLilCook.
Yeah.
And then say like a nice little summary where it says like everything you need to know or you need to learn as a basic to pass it on to your next generation or to share it with your kids. This book is mainly going to be for our generation and the generation after because we're losing touch. It's
100%.
sad to say.
Yeah.
We're losing touch. We're losing... forgetting about a lot of recipes and food, and the migrated parents all over the world, they did their best to introduce their kids to the food while working so hard. But then obviously then there's a mixed culture, first generation, second generation. By the time it's third generation, nobody remembers. They don't even know how to speak in Bangla. Sadly, I'm speaking in English right now. But then
but you're still bringing in the food and everything. So you are definitely keeping it alive, because I feel like within my family, we're probably gonna go away from the food as well. So it's kind of sad.
This is what I want to do, but I also want to publish in 2 different languages, one in Bangla, one in English.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like Bangla, this is for, you collect books. For those kind of people, collecting a Bangla cookbook that is written by somebody from this generation. So like I do want to publish the cookbook in 2 different languages, and just like it will be like an accumulation of like my experiences with our traditional food and the stories that I grew up with, and the food that I grew up eating with, just classics. 10 classics division of Bangladeshi food that anybody should know and can learn, the easy ones. And then in those 10 classics, there's going to be obviously like ingredients based, and then some is going to be like recipes that are losing touch, recipes that were adopted from different countries, because like we have our Thai version of soup, we have Bangla Chinese. So this kind of stuff. And then also one division where it would be like 10 recipes that are losing touch that people are not talking about. And then weird delicacies, like we eat brains, liver, things like that. And so not weird, like just delicacy, Bangladeshi delicacies that are different. So I want to have those 10 classics with 10 different recipes for each classics. And then just stories as we go with the recipes. So basically 100 recipes in one book. It's going to be a fat book.
Yeah, it is.
And then pictures, and just like at the end we'll have some word of wisdom, just like basically pouring my heart out into this. And then probably as we go, part 2, I want to focus on different like districts and region of Bangladesh and talk about the food that no one speak about. So to introduce people to different kind of Bangladeshi food that is not basic. Not just basic. How do I say it? Like not so popular, underrated. Yeah. I never want to call our food basic.
It's so rare to get someone at your age to be like so into and like passionate about your own culture and like actually sharing it to the world. I think it's
when
really,
it comes
really
to
cool.
food, definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Food culture, food hospitality, we're good. But then I if you ask me, I'm kind of into like, I'm a person, I can get into something really passionately and obsessively, and I can also like extract myself from certain situation if that does not align with my path. Like when it comes to politics, a lot of like controversial stuff, if that's something interests me, that's something it's important to speak out loud, I would. But if that's something that is not, it's making me uncomfortable, I choose myself first, and I just come out of that, and I don't talk about it.
Yeah, that's a superpower, dude. Like how you're able to.
The switching on and off,
Yeah.
because it's very important. It's when you're passionate about your own culture, it's very like easy to get carried away and start hating other people just to make your own culture superior.
Yeah,
But
I get what
I
you mean.
don't do that. I respect and love everybody if they're good to me. Just reciprocating, you know, same energy
Yeah.
goes and comes. So yeah, like I get a lot of hate for loving and respecting other like Indians. There's always rivalry between India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. I have nothing to do with it. I love everybody who is nice to me, kind to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you kind to me, I'll be kind to you. If you're not kind to me, that's okay. I don't have to hate you.
Yeah.
I just don't have to, you know?
Yeah, you don't have to engage.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't have to engage. So I see a lot of people hating on me for using like West Bengal or Bengali songs for my content, which is Bengali in my opinion. It's the same language we speak. We're same. We're human at the end of the day. There's no point of hating, but internet is a scary place, so you cannot control everything. I'm kind of squished in between. Bangladeshi people hates me for using their song. They hate me. Why am I using their song? And then sometimes Bangladeshi people hate me that like show hate on my post saying that, oh, why are you promoting their songs? I'm like, I'm not promoting anybody's songs.
Exactly.
I have good taste in music, you know? Like, up until now, you didn't even know what this music were if I wasn't gonna introduce it to you. Like, you forgot about that, long gone. Your parents used to listen to them. Like, you are introduced to this beautiful cultural music because of me. So might as well just appreciate it and not like hate on me. Like, I have no hate for nobody. The reason I don't use Mexican food for my food because it doesn't make sense, because it's not a Mexican food. That doesn't
Except for
mean I
tahini,
hate
yeah?
Mexican food. You know what I mean?
Except for the tahini on the drink. Like she'll put that's amazing.
You know? So that's the same.
For context, I mean, West Bengal is in India.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're part of India, but they speak the same language we do.
Yes.
Bengali.
West Bengal is in East India. It's on the border
Okay.
of Bangladesh.
Yeah,
Kolkata.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. I mean, it's human, dude. Sometimes it's just easier to rebel and hate.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. I love Bollywood. I love all kinds of good music. Like, I love culture. It's just like so much nice. It's so nice to know about culture. Like music, you don't have to understand language. It's something that speaks stories to you. Anything. So there is no point of hating people. You are not uneducated. You have that awareness. You know what's wrong and what's right, you know? So you make your own choices. You cannot follow other people's path. Just because that person is saying, oh, they're shading on each other, they're not good. You make that decision yourself. Who you want to engage with, who you don't want to. I have free will. This is social media. You can use anything you want to. As long as there's no copyright issue.
You'll get hate in so many different ways, dude. I look at it this way, dude. If you're getting hate, it means you're doing something right.
That doesn't mean I am not doing something right, because I don't get as much hate.
Yeah. It's
Because
just
my content is purely just like
food.
showing food.
Exactly.
Not bad way. Like, I do most of the things right. That's why there's no hate. Imagine showing food and preaching about it, then doing something so stupid, like showing stupid food, or just like not doing the correct procedure. But then in my like case, there's no scope for that, because I'm a perfectionist. I do those things way better than most people would do. Because that's how I see it, that I am inspiring other people, right? So I have to do it good. So I would say the 4% that are hating on me is just natural hate. They hate on everybody.
It is. That's just how human
nothing
works.
Personal.
Yeah, unless you're doing those like dirty cooking videos where they're like putting their mouth in that shit. I love those videos.
Honestly,
so, like,
I would have. I would have, but I lost my chance. I really wanted that. Some of the girls would just hold on a cucumber and look at the camera like this. Why? That's so unnecessary.
Yeah. I don't know if your mother-in-law would approve of that, but oh god, dude, this was fun. Man, I feel like this is going to be sort of like a redundant question, but because everyone's already probably learned so much from your personality and how you've shown on camera, as cliche as it sounds, with the knowledge that you have right now, if you could tell something to that 17-year-old KumKum who was still in Bangladesh, just about to fly over to Australia, what would you tell her?
Just enjoy life. You know why I say it? I put myself through hell to be where I am at today. But it could have been easier if I had only chosen the easier path. You don't always have to choose the hardest path to achieve greatest things. I believe that strongly. You can simply choose to be happy and love what you do and just follow that. Let it guide you, because universe, Allah, God has their own plan too. Sometimes it's better than what you expect. All you have to do, work hard, but that doesn't mean like die. No. Work hard, be consistent, be true to yourself, be honest, live an honest life. And it's very easy to do when you know that you're a person of your value, when you know where you're coming from, when you know where you want to go. Just have a crystal clear vision of the things that you want to achieve. That's what's going to help you kind of decide the steps that you want to take, right? But I made it way harder for myself as a kid. I didn't have to do all of those things, but I did. Maybe out of curiosity, maybe I thought that, oh, everything is going to be hard if I want to be the greatest. So that's definitely what I'm going to tell myself, that take it easy, rest, look after yourself, enjoy, and just live your life while you work on those things. Because like end of the day, it's you who you want to please and impress, nobody else. Because when you're sick, when you're mentally disturbed, when you're exhausted, burnout, no one's going to help you.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I think a lot of humans, including myself, there's this feeling of like, do I deserve it? And then you make it harder for yourself.
That's me. That's literally me.
Yeah.
Like, I never spend money on myself enough. No, not really. Necessary things, buying necessary things is not luxury. I never spoiled myself. I never rewarded myself. I never took a vacation for myself. Always thought that, oh, it's not the time. But it's like, you have to reward your body. You have to reward your mind. You have to reward your soul, that everything it's doing for you. And that's most important, is resting, actually sleeping. You know, in my vision board, there is a whole girl sleeping with the pillow. I put it there just to remind myself, sleeping is not bad. You know, when you sleep, when your body needs it, you're not going to sleep more than 1 extra minute more than your body wants you to sleep. That's just how it works. Sleeping is not lazy. I nap, right now, because I worked so hard last 5 years. I was on a 5-hour sleep every single day. And that was my routine when I was working 3 jobs. Literally, I would come home at 2 a.m. and I would leave home literally at 6 a.m. to go to the cafe job, work all day, university, study, and then come home again after McDonald's job, like either do half shift or do full overnight and then come home. So I wish I had been a little more gentle with myself. I had been a little more like caring and nurturing towards myself, because I never really got that from anybody, and I didn't even give it to myself. It's changed. Definitely has to.
To everyone out there who's like planning to start this journey, right? Yeah.
Your journey has started already. You just don't know it. Everybody is already on a journey. It's just like you just keep going. You think, oh, my journey is starting now. No, you thinking that you have already surpassed a lot of your journey just to be able to think it right now that, oh, this journey is starting now. Yes, there is chapters of our life, but our journey started when we are aware of what journey is. So I would say, like, just people, I know there's a lot of students like us. are so hard on themselves, so always pushing themselves, productivity, this, I have to continuously do something, learn something, make money. Everything is important, but not more than yourself. You don't want to look 60 at the age of 35, because that's a real thing. Like, stress makes you look older, feel like a homebody, no fun, like you feel cranky. Everything is gonna show in 20 years. So you decide how you wanna live, how you wanna feel at the age of 60, at the age of 50, and how you wanna treat the people around you. Because everything is gonna come from how you treat yourself.
Dude, I would love to give you a book that I read called Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal.
Yeah.
I think it encompasses everything that you've just said. Like, you can still be productive, but feel good. It can be conjoined. You don't have to be productive and like suffer.
You know, like,
it doesn't have to be
I
both.
often get this feeling after I had a really long, tiring day, but I feel some sort of good like achievement that today everything that I did, not only it was productive, but I actually enjoyed it and I actually did well with it. Like smashing a good leg workout after 2 hours,
which we're gonna go after this,
right after this. Today's my upper body day.
All right, dude, KumKum, thank you so much for being on the pod.
Thank you so
I'm really
much
excited
for having me,
dude. I'm excited for your journey with like LA, everything. I might go for one more supper club.
Of course.
Just to, if you don't have the drink, I'm not coming, right?
No, I will make the drink and give some to you.
Specifically for me, right? More salt, more salt.
Yes.
All right, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's have something to eat.